FT8. A lot of people consider it bad for the hobby, that it's ruining amateur radio. Everybody's on FT8. FT8 does have its advantages, it has its place, and if you're one of those that think it's absolutely ruining amateur radio, then maybe I can just change your mind and get you to think again. I'm G6PNH. This is about the advantages of FT8. First question is, what is FT8? FT8 is a digital signal sent normally over USB. It's fairly quick. It's got a 15-second cycle. You wait 15 seconds, then to decode incoming, and then there's another 15-second cycle where perhaps it would reply. A couple of the myths. The first one is that it's just a computer talking to a computer. I wouldn't say that so much, as it is quite quick, and there is one point where the computer will do some of the work for you. So if you put out a CQ code, for instance, you have to put the work in on the computer, press a couple of buttons, off we go, make sure your ACL's at the right level and so on. Then the computer will take over a little bit when somebody replies to it. You should be there really all the time, just in case something happens, so you could turn it off if you need to. You shouldn't be leaving it alone. You should be supervising your equipment. In that respect, it's only the same as using SSTV, in that you still operate the software. With SSTV, you're perhaps doing a little bit more operation with the software, but you still have to be there, you still have to operate it. So it's not necessarily let's just go to work and let my computer talk to another one. You shouldn't be doing that anyway. However, it is the same as SSTV. If you want to receive, you can leave it on, you can receive, and you can see what's been happening during the day. Another myth. People often say that it's just really a handshake between the computers. If you actually look what's happening, if you look back at some of the other videos that I've done on FT8, you'll see that that's not necessarily the case. You do give your location, roughly. You do give a signal report in dBs rather than a 5 and 9. And then you do say 73s and goodbye. There is an option for more texting if you want. I've never seen it done personally. I've heard of it being done. Now, if you go on to HF, especially when there's a contest on, the actual QSO you have with somebody who's in a contest is just your call sign, which number they happen to be, and your signal strength, which has to be 5 and 9 or they're not interested. For me, sometimes that's quicker than using FT8. What was the point? Okay, if you collecting countries, then fine. If you're wanting a QSO, it's not happening, is it? If you then look at FT8, you're into the same thing. You're really only collecting countries. You're not having a QSO. Okay, with SSTV, you can have a QSO through pictures, and it's quite entertaining sometimes. But FT8, I've got to admit, isn't like that. So you're only country collecting in a way, or call sign collecting, some people do. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. This is an example of somebody wanting a very quick QSO. they're just collecting call signs or countries.
Secure that radio Norway to Henry. November 5, Mike Papa, big signal, thank you, Euro 5 and 9. Okay, thank you. Nice to hear you again, old man, thank you. Thanks a lot for your band as well, 73.
Everybody is on FT8. Are they really? I talk to a lot of people. FT8 sometimes comes up. You find that the same people tend to be on FT8 anyway. You also find that people have this way of using FT8 to an advantage, or it's a last resort. And that's something we're going to come on to in a few minutes. However, sometimes you hear people going, oh, FT8, it's really ruining amateur radio. So you've got to ask the question, do you actually do FT8? Well, what do you think the answer is? If you did FT8, you would understand what use it has and its place and so on. If you want to ask me what's ruining amateur radio, nothing. There are a lot of modes out there, C4FM being one of them. So you look at DMR and Fusion and so on, and that's just fanned everybody out. There's a lot of people on, especially since the pandemic. That's another rant for another day though. What happened in the 80s, how it all disappeared and then it all coming back during the lockdown. Okay, so how do I use FT8? Well, it's quite simple. I use FT8 first of all as a last resort. By that what I mean is FT8 is not my favourite mode, but it is a nice mode to use. I can still work people when nothing's happening. So you take any band 10 metres and you work around the band, there's nothing happening on voice, or maybe there's a contest on you can't get on anyway. You have a listen round, you drop onto SSTV, nothing's happening on there either. Have a listen to CW, very little happening on there. Last resort, FT8. Now, FT8 is a low signal mode, not a low power mode, low signal. I'll make that point. If the band is down, FT8 then becomes a last resort. Now then, that then leads me on to being able to tell whether the band is up or the band is down. Some people use this little method accidentally. If you're on 6 metres and you're chasing that magic time when everybody's on and the band is up, the first thing to listen for is your FT8 signals. As soon as the FT8 signals come on, you know that something's happening. Watch the signal strength of that FT8 go up and up and up and up and up. When it goes up enough, then you know you can get onto sideband voice. The CW will appear first, after the digital, but the digital appears first. Don't forget it's low signal. Being low signal, you can get in there first and start using. So if you're on 6 metres, you can start using that 6 metres fairly quickly. After that your CW is going to come up and then your voice is going to come up. So you can use it as a really good indicator as to what's happening to that band. The same on all bands. Here's an example. I've recorded one of the bands that are down and you can see that there's no signal strength there. However, you can still hear it, and you could still work that FT8 if you wanted. Then I've looked at another band that's active, and you can see how active it is compared to the first band. This is 15 meters, and you can see that there is no signal strength at all. At the moment, the band is flat. Now this is 10 meters, and the band is a lot more active. You can also use it on VHF. You can use it to see if there's a lift on. And there's a website that if you set your software up, it will connect to the website and tell you just where your signal's going, because other people are connected as well. And it's called PSK Reporter. I'll put a link in the below in the little write-up that we do. If you have FT8 set up, send out a CQ call, send it out on VHF, so on 2 meters, give it a minute or two, check the reporter, and lo and behold, you can see how far your signal's gone. Now in the examples that I've done for you, you can see that my signal's gone a little bit up in Scotland, down south a little bit. I would expect it, during a lift, for it to get into Germany and to get quite well into Ireland as well. So when I look at the PSK reporter, and then saying to myself, there's no lift on at the moment, doesn't mean to say that there won't be one later. Good useful tool to have. You can use it as well for all the other bands, and you can see whether they're open as well. The thing is about it though, that you will need to do the transmission. You need to set your software up so that the PSK reporter picks it up as well. That is a really good handy tool. And so, why not have a go at FT8? Even if you just tune into the right frequencies, pick it up, have a look to see whether the band's active or not. It's a good useful tool. If you're looking around the bands and going, oh God, there's nothing going on, there's nothing for me to do, I can't talk to anybody, the band's down, I've tried 2 meters, and 2 meters isn't working today either, it's not that time of day or whatever, why not have a go with FT8? Last resort. It does, it works for me, I'm quite happy. If I can't get any work done on amateur radio at all, I can't give out a CQ call, nobody's coming back, jump on FT8. I've never had a problem having a quick contact or a few quick contacts just to fill my time up as well, and I feel like I'm playing radio a little bit. Okay, have I changed your mind? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you're still thinking, no, it's bad for amateur radio. Well, let me know. I'm not going to get into any arguments about it, it's only opinion. My opinion is it works well for amateur radio. I've never met anybody that says I do FT8 and nothing else. I have met a lot of people who said I do a bit of FT8 when there's nothing else going on. Do you think it's a good thing? Do you still think it's a bad thing? Please let me know in the comments below. So, until next time, thank you for watching, and this is G6PNH wishing you the best 73s.